Hi, my name is Nikki Ludkin. I'm the Manager of Strategic Partnerships at the School of Business and Law at Edith Cowan University in Perth, Western Australia. I manage the executive education portfolio, which is about developing short courses and programs for industry, and that is both locally, nationally, and internationally.
Who is Edith Cowan?
Edith Cowan University is named after Edith Cowan. She was a fierce advocate for women, children, and the disenfranchised. She fought fearlessly and very strongly for their rights. It earned her a place in government. She was the first female parliamentarian in Australia, and her face features on the $50 note. We are very proud of being named after Edith Cowan, and are the only university in Australia who actually is named after a woman. This is something that we value very deeply, and we live by her values and her vision for a community of equality and integrity and ethics. And we live and work by her values every single day, through our degrees, through our community engagement, through our stand with industry and government.
Can you give us one fun fact about ECU?
So Edith Cowan University became a university in 1991. But prior to that, it had more than a century worth of being a teachers' college. It was a place of education where teachers from around the state were trained and educated at the teaching college, which later in 1991 became a university and encompassed all of the schools that we see reflected in the university today, such as School of Business and Law, School of Arts and Humanities, School of Science, School of Engineering, School of Education, School of Nursing and Midwifery, School of Medical Health Sciences, and of course WAPA, West Australian Academy of Performing Arts. We're very proud of that teaching background. It is something that we value very deeply and actually has earned us, and it's something we keep dear to our hearts because we uphold, we are the top university in Australia, teaching and learning quality, and hold that very dear.
What defines a future-ready leader, and how can international exposure accelerate that growth?
A future-ready leader is one who keeps abreast of evolving trends and emerging technologies to make sure that they know what is coming in the future and how to guide their organizations and their teams in meeting the trends that happen further afield. We live in a smaller and smaller world. We're affected by geopolitics, and that's really important for a future-ready leader, to be understanding of. With that comes also an awareness of culture and communication. Communication comes in all forms: written, spoken, and listening. Understanding what other cultures need. Those people who are in our organizations might have different needs, and being able to lead them, being cognizant of their different needs, is also really important. So having that awareness and being ready to tackle every issue, but with a broad mind and awareness of the technologies that have to be used within the organization or that are emerging, is really important.
Universities are increasingly focused on industry engagement and real-world learning. How does ECU prepare students to transition from university to meaningful careers?
So there's many ways of actually integrating with the industries that students want to work with. So we have applied research. The academics have got the research that they work on is applied and is used in the classroom and is constantly given real-life examples. And through that, they invite guest speakers from the industries from which their students are going to go and work into to come and talk about how the theories that are talked about in the classroom are then applied in the workplace. But more importantly, we also have work-integrated learning as a mandatory object of all of our courses. Our students work with a work-integrated learning team and develop their LinkedIn profiles, their CVs, and their elevator pitches, which then helps them get placements that this university helps them actually secure as they go forward. This really helps students understand what it is that the industry needs from them when they go into the workplace.
Why is work-integrated learning so important?
At ECU School of Business and Law, we have got the Tax Clinic and the Wills Clinic. This is where registered professionals come in and support students to work with community members in doing their tax returns and writing their wills. And it gives students a first-hand, real-life experience doing these work that they're going to be doing once they hit the workplace. This is incredibly valuable to them because they actually enter those workplaces ready for those for the work that they're going to be having to do on their own, and it builds confidence and awareness and the skills and communication tools that they need for their workplaces. Students go into the classroom, they do their theories, they talk to other students, they talk to the lecturers, but it's in the workplace that the real rubber hits the road. And that work-integrated learning gives them a taste of that. They get to meet the people that work in those industries, that build careers in those industries. So it gives them a chance to actually try out those industries for themselves. It also, not only does it help build an understanding of the industries, when they finish their degrees, they have got work experience that they can put in their CVs. And that's so important. They actually go into the workplace. They finish their degrees with experience that they can put into their CVs and therefore be able to show an example of how they have worked with different organizations. That builds incredible confidence in our students. It helps the industry understand who our students are. And very often, well, when there is an opportunity, those students sometimes even get jobs beyond their degrees in the places where they do their placements.
What is something that is unique to Bhutanese students that they should hold on to when they arrive in Australia?
So, having spent a little bit of time here in Bhutan, the culture is very different. It's a very collectivist culture, there's a lot of pride, and it's a gentle culture. Australia can be a pretty busy place, and maintaining that culture is really important. There is a very large Bhutanese community in Perth, and it's great for the students to have that, to be able to rely on, to get guidance from and advice from and support from. Sometimes that can be a little bit of a struggle in that students are tied to their culture, to the Bhutanese community. However, it's really about understanding where they can learn the best of both worlds. Coming to Australia as a Bhutanese is about trying to hold on to their culture, learn from the new cultures that they interact with while they're in Australia, learn from the Australian culture and all of their studies that they're going to do, and then use those skills to build their careers and hopefully come back to Bhutan and build the communities, the ecosystem, the environment, the economy that is emerging in Bhutan in the skills that are needed in their home countries. Thank you for listening to the second series of the ECU Bhutan Hub podcast series.